Hello. Whoa. Hello, hello, hello. Hold on, guys. Hold on. What? There we go. That was a mess. Sorry about that, everyone. How is everyone doing this morning? Well, that was weird. That was weird. All right. Good morning, Sterling. Thank you on your day off. I assume Wednesday's still your day off. Thank you for posting all the news. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day off. Uh, Yeah, we had the core durable goods orders, point 0.2 versus point 0.3 previous estimate, point 0.3. Well, which one's beat? The month over month, uh, I had coming in at 2.6, and then X transports was the point 0.2. But still, the month over headline number beat. What else do we have? Oh, I like this one. mRNA, Moderna, and OpenAI collaborate to advance mRNA medicine. Uh, no. No, thank you. Yen. Yep, yen weakened to 155 today. Boeing is up. They released earnings. Good morning, Jacob. We're just going to have Sterling in here because Sterling puts in everything important. Good morning, Patrick. What else? What else? Fantastic. Pelosi. We don't even need to talk about her. Good morning, John. This is a clown show. This is a clown show. Tesla up like 11% after earnings. I thought it was a pretty disastrous earnings report, but it was also oversold and cycles at the bottom. So we'll go over that also. Where else do we see Nvidia rising? What happened to? Weren't they doing their own Dojo computer or something? What happened to their own stuff? They're all buying the Nvidia chips. Hey, Christoph, how's life in the desert so far? It's nice. It's nice. It's a nice, cool 64 degrees right now. Going to get up to 90 today, so can't complain at that. Very peaceful out here. So I am definitely liking it. Good morning, Kalani. Good morning, Heinrich. Hey, Charles. Good morning, Mark. Good morning, Jake. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. All right. So we already talked about the durable goods. We have the mortgage information. Mortgage rate back to 7.24. And housing still chugging along. But really, it's a quiet day. We're heading into GDP tomorrow. So that's going to be the much more important number than PCE on Friday. We have the crude numbers after crude triggered a percent beat buy yesterday. So let's see if that follows through. But we will take a look. So quiet day, pretty much. You got Meta heading into earnings this afternoon, up 2.5%. Nvidia up. Tesla up 12% now. You got to buy it. Buy it, buy it, buy it. The 10Q will probably put a damper on that. Visa up. All chips are up. Chips, it's rushing into the. We're still in slight bounce mode, although there's some couple potential minor topping patterns. It could be running out of steam going into GDP. Groups, let's just do a quick refresh here. Consumer, cyclical, and technology leading the way up. Not much else. Defensive, the biggest loser, but by far, because cyclical and technology leading the rallies today. We're still at one cut starting in potentially in September and not out of fear mode just yet. All right, as Sterling put in, we had Boeing, we had AT&T also, and General Dynamics. There's a potential double top in General Dynamics. Watch for that if you're in General Dynamics. Visa reported yesterday and is up this morning. Tesla's up that 12% after a miss yesterday. But we have the cyber cab. Not the robo-taxi. We now have the cyber cab. Yay. And as I mentioned before, Meta after the close, IBM, Ford, Chipotle. Chipotle will be another interesting one to watch from my perspective. Then tomorrow morning, we really have American Airlines, Caterpillar. Those are probably the two biggest. Bristol Myers Squibb. And then after the close, remember GDP tomorrow morning, but Microsoft, Alphabet, Intel after the close tomorrow. So after the close tomorrow is going to be a big day. All right. Good morning, Anissa. Good morning, MJ. I'm seeing much more existing homes cutting prices, but not new homes being built in Indiana. Well, yeah. Our home's officially not our old home because it closed last week, but there was starting to some of the inventory around me that was sitting for a long time. They started to uh, do price cuts, but anything that was redone was still chugging along. Oh, don't forget about Optimus. That's true. They're going to start selling Optimus. You know what? I'm just going to be quiet. Good morning, Richard. It's Elon. That's all I have to say. It's Elon. All right, so I'm keeping an eye on this. Came up to that upper channel yesterday, and this is a potential double top. It got above the 75 on this side, so it is there. But this is just a minor pullback. You see this? It could turn into something bigger. I mean, the next level that I'll be watching is right around this 50.67. But in the short term, going in the open, we got 50.95, 50.80, 50.90 roughly, and 50.84.25 on the pullback. And then if we put on our retracement harmonics from the low last Thursday to the pre-European Open, well, roughly the European Open high right there, we have right at this 37.5% harmonic, which is right at this 50.67, and then 50.46. So the minor area I'd watch for is the double triggers. The real key area getting through the first couple targets, so is really this 50.87 to 50.84. And it is into a clear path move below the first target at 50.95. To the upside, remember, because we always have to analyze both sides so we're not caught off guard because this double may not even trigger. We need the next key area would be 51.48. 51.48, and the minor area right now would be the 51.28. The European Open highs, and then through there would be 51.48, which is the 50% retracement from the sell-off and roughly the top of the rotation zone. That's especially if it does rally today, really watch where it closes in relation to the rotation zone. But hitting that 50%, anywhere between 50 and 62%, is the major rollover zone. And we still have cycles heading up. Remember, this was severely oversold. And you see it caught on the bottom of the weekly rotation zone. So it's not surprising we're getting the continued bounce. But I'm really watching to see how much this is running out of steam going into the GDP numbers tomorrow. The NASDAQ also has a little mini potential double top right here. 17,667 on a closing basis. And that the targets in that are about 17,628, 17,607, 17,500, 8650. The key retracement, the key levels beyond that, 17,515 and then 17,434. To the upside, you can see here we're against the 1 hour 200 and this little topping area from back last Thursday. If it breaks through there, though, the next minor area is 17,825. The next major area is 17,911. What else we got? Hey, Pep, good morning. Gold is playing with gold. Okay. Gold is playing with Pep. All right. The Dow, there's not really a double top there. The Dow almost it's hitting this little minor key resistance area and the top of the rotation zone, but if it gets through there, 38,911, then 39,727. This 38,911 is also a very key breakdown zone, so watch that. And if we're looking for the key retracement levels, let me switch the color on this one. If we're looking for the key retracement levels, we have first area I'd be looking at is about 38,475. then 38.3, and then major support 38.132. The Russell sort of stalling out here. Major resistance right now is 2028, and then above there is 2039. The key support level, minor is 1997, and then we got 1983, and then major is 1970. So I got to talk about there. A huge reversal in the VIX. All the fears getting rapidly sucked out with this rally. So I'm still looking at 1650 before we can really resume some downside pressure. And key support is coming in at 15 at this point. The DAX coming up to that 62.5 yesterday, but no close above it. So I'm still watching the DAX at 18,377 on a closing basis. The support level is back at 18,225. The notes, again, we got the GDP and GDP PCE numbers tomorrow, and Friday we have the month-over-month PCE numbers. So this is right in consolidation right now. I'm expecting some more volatility coming in tomorrow, but not much today. The yields are climbing a bit with the note sell-off, but it's coming into some minor resistances, 4.66. Tomorrow, if it breaks out the upside, I'll be looking at 4.07. The dollar index pulling back, closing into the rotation zone, little bounce up. This has to now get above 105.82 before I'll start looking into a resumption of the bull move. But so far, it's roughly a little channel in the longer term. And you see here after a major run, especially the week of Monday, the 8th of April, we're just pausing. We are pausing with the rising weekly rotation zone. So even if this were to pull back more to this 104.60, it's still a pullback to a key breakout level. If that starts breaking down, it will get interesting. Crude, we have the EIA numbers today. Yesterday, percent B buy. Percent B buy, it broke above Monday's high and then followed through with the close. Little pullback heading into the EIA numbers, but worst case, the stop on that would now be break even from my perspective after hitting the flat rotation zone. But the next target area up is 83.92 to 84.72. This is another example. If it comes back, hits the stop level, oh well. But the first target area I would be utilizing is back between this 83.92 and 84.72 to take something partial off. Then if it closes above 84.72, oops, that's wrong. Sorry, that level was wrong. 84.19 to 85.06. Sorry about that. Reset those numbers, 84.19 to 85.06. The stop area is still the same. It's roughly Monday's high. Again, just giving an example. So that's where I wouldn't get attached to it, okay? Because if it comes back down, hits a stop level, EIA numbers come in, showing builds or something that comes back down, oh well. But the key first target area I would be using is up in there, and then with the close above 85.06, be hanging on for a resumption of the trend, which is still up. PAP, with gold playing with them, confirmed a double, but no trigger. So we're going to have to see if this triggers it today. Now remember, this is a lower probability double still against the rotation zone. Spiking and then closing back with the rotation zone, still holding the rotation zone today. And as I said, I would not be looking to short into this. I'd be looking this for pullback moves, if it even ends up triggering. So far, in the bigger perspective, gold after a monster run is still not even a big pullback after that multi-week run. Copper, which is holding up one of the best, there's looking like we're going to have a pretty decent copper shortage potentially. So I'm still watching. The next key target is at 460 on copper. What do we have else coming in here? The yen, which Sterling posted earlier, Hit that 155 and the major cluster area. Key support back at 153.40. But what's the next? I mean, this, look at this. Look at this. We have, I mean, I don't even have data. I have to go to another service to look at this. This is the highest, well, since I don't even remember. I think since late 90s. Somebody has longer data. Could you tell me the last time the yen was this weak? Because this is the Bank of Japan cannot be happy with this. But they, you know, they're either buying their bonds or intervention territory. Euro. Again, we triggered the little mini double yesterday against the rotation zone, which is that first target. So we could see a little more dollar weakness, but the euro has not been able to hit that first target yet at 107.30. But that's why I'm still watching for potentially some more euro strength and dollar weakness. However, the GDP numbers could throw a wrench in that tomorrow morning. I think I heard 1993. Thank you, Charles. I'll have to verify that after. It's been a long time. It's been a long time. The spiders. 509.24 is the next key area. Watch if the futures trigger the mini double top, though. Watch for a little pullback on there. The key, we're trading 505.81, so a gap up from yesterday. The first thing would be for the gap fill at 505.65. So that would be my first target if the futures triggered. Then I'd use the retracements, which is hard for me to put up here because we don't know where it will open, if it'll spike a little higher, but I'd put up the retracements from the low on Friday. The key target up is 509.24 and then 513.08. Besides the gap fill, and that's some pretty key support. The next major support is back up 501.50. Same with the Qs. I'd use the retracement levels. On any weakness in the open, you're looking at first area I'd use is yesterday's high, 426.28, and then the close at 425.07. The very key resistance is 431.21. So not much else to talk about there. Bitcoin's still not doing much at all. Tesla, which the big gap up into very, very key resistance, upper end of the daily rotation zone and a major breakdown level. See how to significantly oversold with cycles at the bottom. If we look at that on the weekly basis, we closed well below the 62.5. We hit the 72.75. Still, the weekly rotation zone is above it. So as long as it really doesn't start closing above about 185, it's still in significant bearish mode. And we're watching for the next rollover plays back down to 126.50. NVIDIA, which has triggered the double, hit the first target and getting a bounce to the breakdown zone. So this, I mean, isn't surprising at all. The only thing that could make me bullish back on NVIDIA is back above 891. Other than that, not much to talk about. I have to change some of these levels up. Do we have a bull flag in 4-hour gold? And then I'll get to some other things. Gold, 4 hours. Sorry. Let's see. Do we have a bull flag? I mean, you'd have to get a break above about 23.43 to do anything with this. You'll probably see a lot more gold volatility coming in tomorrow. Intel. Sitting at that 62.5. Now it closed below it on the daily. It also closed below it last week. So any bounce, I'd be watching for rollover plays. personally, because I got to put the probabilities in my favor. And the rotation zone on the daily is down, so it's in bear mode on the daily, bear mode on the weekly. Now, a bounce would not be surprising, okay, going into earnings. However, and this is a big however, even on a rally, let's see, the 40 is major resistance, and that's right in the middle of the rotation zone. So even on a bounce to 40, would just be watching for rollover plays. I don't even know if it can get to 40. The area I'd be watching is about 38. But if they do something interesting with earnings, other than that, it would be a bounce play only in the short term from my perspective. Because you have the probabilities, not only do you have all the rotation zones headed down, you have the close on the weekly basis below that 62.5. So I'm expecting over the next few months for more deteriorations, especially maybe back below 30. What else? We got Meta after the close. Does not have any fantastic pattern. Right now is broken below some key resistance, but just a flagging pullback. It's still the key level is this 454 area. If it loses 454, watch out. On any pop-up, you have the major resistance at 530 to 535. Could be setting up for a more significant topping pattern than on any, if they beat and they pop up, that's what I'd be watching for, a more significant topping pattern. Other than that, Meta, the daily is technically in bearish mode, but the weekly is still in bullish mode and has been in a multi-week consolidation. But this is definitely running out of steam, and it's got weekly cycles getting to the bottom. So I'd be careful going in the earnings if you're looking for shorts, because there's not a great setup. What else? That's really about it. Oh, I talked about this earlier. General Dynamics, which had a miss on EPS, a beat on revenue. Not anywhere close to being triggered yet, but we do have a potential double top. And that could take it back to the lower end of the weekly rotation zone. So just keeping an eye on that after General Dynamics has gone on a pretty strong run. So if you're a General Dynamics bull, that could be. Now, it needs a daily close below 283.67, which might not happen. But that could be a fantastic place for at least a longer-term trailing stop. Going back to the S&P. Going back, just taking a look. By the way, this little double, if it does try to break down, I need to follow through 1 hour close at least. 1 hour close has to follow through and remain below this 51.06 and close below there. Otherwise, I'd be wary going in the open with just a little spike below there. Okay. Key resistance going in the open is about 51.20. And then you're looking at about 51.25. And then your support levels are still, if this does trigger, you're still looking at 50.96, 50.90, and 50.84. That's what I have for you. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Hey, people in the background, come on and jump on in the chat if you're watching it on YouTube, if you're watching it on Twitter or ShareVision or something else. Reply, like it. Reply to something. Reply to the video. DM me. Let me know what you think. Other than that, I shall talk to everyone tomorrow. Remember, 8:30 Eastern Time. Do not get caught off guard tomorrow. 8:30 Eastern Time, since the request was switched to Eastern Time. You got all the GDP and PCE numbers. So do not forget about that. Do not get caught off guard. That can be volatile going into the pre-market, the pre-cash open tomorrow morning. With that, thank you, everybody, for taking some time to tune in, and I will see everyone tomorrow. Bye for now.